What's going on, guys? It's still on the Machete here. I'm here with Jaga Chan. We've both been in Thailand. We've done quite a fair bit of time over there, and we're going to teach you today how to get better at sparring without just giving yourself brain damage. So the first tip to actually get better at sparring is we're going to choose one thing to practice. So say, for example, if I'm squaring up with Jaga here, we're in an orthodox versus orthodox stance. Say for this round, my job is to land a hook and a leg kick. Say, for example, if me and Jaga are just sparring here, I'm looking at ways to set it up, and he's going to look at ways to defend it. So I'm here, I throw a hook, leg kick, he defends it. Okay, maybe I need to show him something, try and do something else to get in. So maybe I'll go straight to the body. Now see how he's kind of bent down. Now I can come around, and now I can go a kick. So sparring is about creating openings and trying things. When we're sparring, we're not trying to win, we're in the gym to get better. We're not trying to hurt each other. You want to have training partners that are going to help you get better and not just damage you and shorten your career. You need a mix of sparring partners to practice things, but you also need people that are going to challenge you. So me and Jaga, we're both around the same level. We've both spent that long time in Thailand. We've both been doing martial arts for a long time. So it's always good competitive rounds. We always give each other a lot to look at. So say if we just do a quick 30-second round, Jaga, just think of something in your head that you're going to try and do for this sparring round. Yeah. And we're just going to spar, and then at the end of the round, we're going to be like, okay, well, what did he try and do? Let's go. Nice. We'll keep it there. So, what were you trying to do in that round, Jaga?
So I noticed that you had pretty good defense of your leg kick. So to change the timing of that leg kick, I just held it there instead of throwing the kick, knowing he would check, and then took the balance away from him, resulting in a sweep.
Cool. And as you can see, what I was trying to do, once again, I was trying to land that hook and leg kick. So there were times where Jaga was just getting the check off real good. He was good at checking that. So then I'd throw the punch, he'd come down, do that little kind of tuck in. I'd come all the way around. Now it's a bit harder for him to check. I can kind of take the front of the leg, I can take the back leg, and I can kind of mix it up from there rather than just doing the same thing over and over again. So make sure when you are sparring, you're very vocal with your training partners. You're speaking about, how hard you want to go. Do you have any injuries? How close are you to a fight? Are you new to this? Have you sparred a lot in the past? If you haven't sparred a lot in the past, then you're probably going to have to avoid certain people and maybe go with people that are around your skill level, or even go with the higher level guys and be like, hey, can you teach me this? You've got to be vocal with your sparring and not just go into the gym with no purpose. You're in the gym to get better, so don't waste your sessions.
I think that's a good point to bring up. You definitely need to be vocal and open and honest with your sparring partners, whether you're carrying injuries or things like that. Maybe let your partner know if you've got a certain opponent coming up, some things that you would like them to be doing to you as well. And yeah, just having that conversation like you said. Yeah.
You're going to need to be sparring people that are better than you as well. We've all done some sort of sport, whether it's tennis, golf, chess, something where you're going against someone that's the exact same level as you all the time. And in this aspect, you don't get any better. So you need those people that are in the gym challenging you and helping you raise to the occasion and get better. This is really going to highlight what you're doing wrong, and you're going to be picking up a lot of things. You say you've got someone that's, a state champion or a world champion, or you've got that opportunity to spar those people. Ask them what they're doing. Don't just go in there thinking, oh, this guy's a world champion, I'm going to try and beat him. No. Do the sparring round with them. Say they're landing a shot on you constantly. Say they're like Jaga, he landed that sweep on me. Okay, well then sit down and be like, okay, how did you do that? How did you get better at that? How did you drill that into your arsenal so that you got better at that? And coming back to that, what happens if you're the best in the gym? Well, if you're the best in the gym, what we can do in sparring then is we can just practice things. So say, for example, if you're fighting someone that's a southpaw, so if me and Jaga square up to each other, say Jaga's fighting a southpaw, he's sparring a southpaw. And let's just pretend that Jaga is 10 times better than me. So what is Jaga going to do fighting a southpaw? Well, he's going to be using that lead hand. He's going to be going for the right hand, the right kick. So if me and Jagga just kind of play around, I'm going to be a basic southpaw, and he's going to try and land the things that he would normally try to land on a southpaw. So we'll just do this for 30 seconds. Right, so just then, basic round. You don't have to be going every single round sparring hard. Use sparring to practice things. If you're sparring someone that's a lower level than you, just practice, pick your shots. Don't be that guy in the gym that has an ego and feels like he has to dominate everyone. Slow it down, breathe, be controlled, and focus on getting better in sparring, not just giving each other brain damage. So park your ego at the door and come into the gym to learn. So one more thing when you're sparring is you need to switch it up. Even if you're sparring some of the best in the world, but you're sparring that person over and over again and they're giving you the same looks, you're just going to get used to that person. You might spar someone that's one of the best in the world and they give you no issues, but then you go spar an amateur who doesn't have the technique and they're just wild and they're going to catch you off guard and they're going to beat you. What do you think about that, Jagga?
No, 100% agree. You definitely need to change up who you're sparring with. For that exact reason that you were saying, getting a different variety of looks, getting a different variety of skill sets, how people do things, it's just going to help improve your eye and improve your skill set as well.
And one thing that you actually said to me is when you went to Europe, after you'd just been in Thailand for so long, the Russians were actually giving you a lot of trouble. So do you just want to have a bit of a speak on like how the Russian style messed with your Thai style and how you adapted to that?
Yeah. So Thai style sparring especially is like what we were doing earlier, just sort of playing, go one for one, challenging ourselves in terms of our defense and what skills we want to do. In terms of the Russian sparring, it was very much high-paced, high volume of hands. So that kind of threw off my Thai style a little bit. So I had to adapt and change to their looks, to their styles, in order to not get brain damage, essentially.
Yeah. You got to realize that certain countries, they spar differently and they fight differently. So the Thais, they are very slow pace when they spar because they've had fights since the age of 6, whereas people like the Russians and the Turks, or even the Australians or the Europeans, they might spar that little bit harder just because we're not used to fighting as much as them. So I took a fight on 3 days' notice once in Phuket. I ended up fighting a Turkish boy, and I knew that I was in for a fight that day. I'd seen some videos of him knocking people out with his overhands, so I had to make sure I was switched on for that fight. And just having that fear in my mind made me fight so much better. And I learned a lot from that fight. I feel like I really leveled up from that fight, and now he's doing great things. He's fighting in Lumpini main event, and he's doing great things for himself, and I'm really happy that I got that fight. So us from our Western countries and the Europeans and all that, we may fight less, but when we do come in the ring, we really go hard and we really get after it. Do you agree with that, Jagga?
I would agree with that. People from the Western side, European countries and things like that, they do come with a bit more of an intensity. Australia especially is known for that. And then when it comes to the Thai style, they are often slower because they're fighting a lot more regularly. You'll experience that when you're sparring as well, the difference between the Thais and some Western countries. Western countries will come in, like I said, with intensity, bombing, with big hands and things like that. Thais are often a bit more playful and a bit more technique focused.
If you guys enjoyed that video, make sure you check out the rest of my channel. I've got plenty of other videos from diet and nutrition, fight breakdowns, coaching, workouts, vlogs from Thailand and in Australia. And I also offer personal and group sessions based here on the Gold Coast, so get your sessions in. Also, make sure you follow all my other social media content down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.